What's happening, everyone? JayShockblast here, and check it out. Marvel's Avengers Beta Weekend #1 is in the books, and I am in love with this game. This game is phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. It's not reinventing the wheel, but it's everything I ever hoped for in a Marvel video game. And you get to play as some of the most iconic characters in the entire Marvel universe, and it really feels like you get to be those characters, and I loved it. I think Crystal Dynamics did a fantastic job at this, and I can't wait to play more. So the first beta weekend was for people that pre-ordered the game on PlayStation 4. The second beta weekend is the 14th through the 16th, and it is for people that pre-ordered on Xbox One and PC, and open for everybody on PS4. And then the final beta weekend is open for everybody, and that starts on August 21st and goes to the 23rd. Open beta for all. If you're not going to pre-order, definitely play the beta during the open beta period, because I think it's going to change your mind. I think it's going to convince you that it's a lot of fun to play. So why did I like it? Let me tell you that it starts you off with the 8-day mission that we've been seeing for like a year now. We've seen little clips of it, and when you get to actually do it yourself, it's so good. You get a little bit of taste of Thor, Iron Man, Hulk, Black Widow, and Captain America, and everybody plays really cool. I loved Thor, okay? Thor is one of my 3 favorite characters in the entire Marvel universe, with Deadpool and Nova, and my dog's name is Thor, so I am going to be a Thor main. That did not change when I got to play with him in the beta. It's a very short period of time you get to play, just a small clip during that 8-day demo, but it's perfect. I love him. I think he's great. I can't wait to play him more. I don't really have to say anything else. He's definitely my favorite character I got to play out of all of them. Then, you move on through the mission. What I loved about it, and I hope a lot of these missions, the story missions, are like that, is it was on rails. You had to go from point A to point B, and there wasn't really anything else in between you had to do. And it had all these nice set pieces and choreographed fights, and I know a lot of people don't like that, but what I love about it is you get that full-blown cinematic experience in your boss battles, knowing that there's going to be war zones and drop zones and these other side missions that you can do that are much more open and spread out. So when you have a little bit of both, I think it's the perfect balance, and I loved that. So kudos for the way they did it. You battle Taskmaster in this battle, and it's not the same as the Spider-Man Taskmaster fights, because those can be pretty tough. But this is really cool because you get to see the banter between Taskmaster and Black Widow, and it's a cool fight. That was really when I realized, holy smokes, Black Widow is really cool in this game. So that 8-day mission is really great, and then you get a taste of Captain America, and honestly, he's probably going to be my second favorite character to play in this game. He plays really cool, and I know that we're going to get to play him at some point. It just seems like that's what they're building towards, is you're going to find him at some point in the midway of the game, maybe in after the first third of the game, and unlock him at that point. Somebody managed to accidentally unlock him and play as him and see his skill tree, so he's definitely going to be playable at some point. But 8-day is just one of 3 story quests. You also do 2 quests with Hulk and Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel, this is her time to shine. This is exactly what happened in Into the Spider-Verse for Miles Morales. I think that's what we're going to see from Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan. I loved playing as Kamala. I cannot believe how enjoyable she is to play as, and what story I did experience through her eyes was really cool. I think she's really the glue that holds them together. You're experiencing the Avengers through her, and it's different, and it's really cool the way they did it, and I'm here for it, man. I think this is her moment, and I know she's had a lot of great opportunity in the close to 10 years she's been around, in the comics anyway, but this is definitely a starring role, and I think she's going to pass with flying colors. I think a lot of people are really going to appreciate who Kamala Khan is and what she brings to the table, because in a lot of ways she's all of us, right? She's the super fan, and you feel her excitement when she sees new things. So I appreciate that, and there's definitely a reason they did these missions. Like that part of the mission was really cool. So I really love her. She plays really well. It's really cool to play as her, and that's really awesome. So I alluded to the drop zones and the war zones. Drop zones are like these little quick missions you can do in like 5 to 10 minutes. I think I did one of them in 5 minutes, and they're kind of cookie cutter. You know, they're a little samey. At least the ones that I got to do. I hope there's different environments that they work in, but they seem like they're pretty easy, you know, to put together. And that's encouraging for the long term, where you can just see them, you know, introducing a couple new drop zones here and there with relative ease. I don't make video games, so, you know, for me to sit here and say, oh, well, that looks like it's easy to make. I mean, I'm probably full of it, but, you know, it's easy for me to say, so I'm just going to say it and stick with it, you know? The war zones, now here's the thing about drop zones. They're on a rail too. You know, you go from point A to point B, you blow up a bunch of stuff, and then you do certain objective at the end, and you're done. You get a bunch of loot, you get a bunch of XP, you get some gear. Like, it is what it is. It's a great, quick, one-shot way of leveling up, doing your thing. Then you have the war zones, okay? War zones remind me of Midtown Manhattan. They're big open spaces. If you played Marvel Heroes Omega, you know all about Midtown Manhattan. It's where we would all go. We would just bust up a bunch of things, do some little, you know, missions, and get some XP, get some gear, get some loot, fight some bosses, do another event, do an event. It's kind of like that. You've got this bigger open area, and there's little sections on each area where you can go and you can get some loot chests and you can do objectives, and then there's one final place you have to go to finish the mission. So you can do these in about an hour. You know, if you want from point A to point B, you can probably do it in like 10-15 minutes. But like if you really explore and do all the side stuff, you know, you can get a good hour out of these missions. Now, here's what I will say about these. As fun as they are, there is some room for improvement, okay? These missions, to me, when I was playing with people in co-op, were a little chaotic, and it was a little... granted, I'm still trying to get the hang of everything that's going on, but, you know, there's 3 other people controlling characters, and everybody's going off every which way. And, you know, you get lost, and you have to press up on the D-pad, and it'll show you where everybody is, sort of, most of the time. Unless somebody's Iron Man, then sometimes you can't see them. But they need to keep the indicator for the other characters on the screen at all times, because it's hard, it's easy to get lost. It's hard to see where your teammates are sometimes, and there's no real way for them to say, I'm at, you know, Northwest 47, you know, or there's no markers, no indicators, no ping system, none of those things that tell you, hey, you know, I'm over here. You know, you have to like hope that you can see their silhouette or their icon and hope that you can get to it. I really feel like that's something that needs to be on the screen at all times. And then for the people that don't like it, maybe there's just a way to toggle it off. But I want to know where my teammates are, and I felt like we got separated easily. And if you play with people in matchmaking and you're not communicating with them, it's very easy for them to just go off and do things and kind of make it so that you miss out on stuff. And that was one thing I did not love, but the good news is it's something I feel like shouldn't be difficult to improve. But that was really, honestly, my only big complaint, is that it was just hard to keep up with where everybody is. Obviously, Iron Man had the biggest advantage being able to fly. He could get to a lot of higher places. For characters like Hulk and Miss Marvel and Black Widow, they had like their own way of getting to places, whether it be, you know, latching onto walls and climbing up, or, you know, stretching their arms up, or, you know, Black Widow had her like kind of grapple hook. But sometimes it was a little bit of a challenge to get to higher places. So, and the loot boxes didn't always indicate where they were. So I don't know, the ones that are kind of in like tucked away places, they're easy to miss. And I like to get every little piece of loot that I can. I like to smash everything that I can. It kind of reminds me about, you know, the Lego games where you smash everything and collect the studs. There's lots of different resources that you can collect that way. So I really felt good about that. That was really great. But, you know, sometimes it's just harder to find some of that stuff. You can press up and it's got like that eagle vision, but, and Jarvis, you know, you have Jarvis as your narrator, kind of like Dinklebot in Destiny. He did a good job of like saying, oh, you're going over here. I love the integration of Jarvis into everything. But sometimes, I don't know, it just wasn't enough. Maybe that's me. Maybe everybody had an easier time with it, but I found it more easier than it should have been to get lost, you know? But that's just honestly a minor gripe. And I think it's something that can be fixed. And I think it's something they've already kind of paid attention to, people saying. So maybe it's something that we will see fixed or adjusted or whatever you want to say. So there is a photo mode, which is great. After playing Ghost of Tsushima, it's a little bit... It's harder to go to a lesser version of photo mode. I don't know what they can do at this point, but I felt like the free form photo mode camera was very like constricted in how far out it could go. You can only get the stuff at certain angles. So if they can make some adjustments to make it a little looser, I think we're good. I do like that there is a photo mode, but I mean, Ghost of Tsushima is just, it's the best photo mode ever made, so it's really hard to go from that to anything else. And, you know, Marvel's Avengers just had the misfortune of being that game that was next. So it's not awful, but it could definitely improve. I don't have a whole lot of real gripes. I mean, I love the characters. The gear system, I think some people would like to see some actual visible changes based on the gear. I don't. You didn't in Marvel Heroes, so I don't really care about seeing it now. I would actually prefer the skins to have their own look, personally. I don't dispute that it is kind of cool that maybe if there was like a base skin that was meant to show visual changes once you equip different pieces of gear, I don't dispute that that would be kind of cool if they found a way to do that. But it's not a make or break for me personally, and for me, the gear should just be about the stats, and they did a really good job with the gear so that you're not just constantly picking up and dropping gear every time it's 1 point higher. The gear can be upgraded based on its rarity. So, you know, if you get a green piece of gear, you might be able to upgrade it 3 power level points. So it might be a 15 when you get it, but you upgrade it to an 18. You know, when you get a piece of blue, you can upgrade it 5 times. You get purple, like it's 10 times. So, you know, if you find a good piece of gear, there's a good chance that you're able to use it for an extended period of time until you find something better. What else is really cool is once you get to that maximum point, you know, the gear does different things. So you have gear that is good against cryo damage, gear that's good against gamma radiation. And you're going to want to have all of those because the missions you go on tell you, hey, you're going to see PIM particle damage in these areas. There were times where I fought enemies that shrank. It was kind of cool. So yeah, man, like there's definitely a lot going on with the gear system. There is ISO 8, which gives me flashbacks to Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Oh, you're full on your ISO 8. You need to delete some. Man, that was the worst. But skins are great. There's lots of cool different skins. I ended up using, they give you some credits that you can use at the start of the beta to buy some stuff out of the marketplace. I got Kamala Khan's advanced suit and 2 Iron Man armors, and Kamala's advanced suit is awesome. I love it. So just be on the lookout for that. Obviously, that's the real money type stuff. There is a character card, which is kind of like a battle pass, and I like that, but I don't like the way they implemented it. You do daily and weekly quests, and you earn points by completing those quests, and those count towards unlocking your battle pass. Now, I feel like if I'm playing as Thor and I'm trying to level up my battle pass, just playing and earning XP should earn me points. I shouldn't have to wait an entire day to do another daily quest or wait for a week to do another weekly quest, because that's going to make, you know, the however many tiers of the battle pass they have, or the character pass, I should say, character card, that's going to make that take way longer than it needs to. There is a way to buy tiers with real money like every other battle pass, but I don't really feel like that. I don't feel like people should feel like they have to do that. Where if I look at Fortnite, if I just play the game a lot, I can unlock every tier on that battle pass as quickly as I can play the game. In this game, they put roadblocks that prevent you from advancing. So you can only advance a certain amount every day and every week. And I don't like that. I would love to see them make it so that my time playing as the character counts towards that character card and unlocking some of the cool stuff there, because, you know, there's some really cool skins that are hanging out at the end. You know, for Hulk, there's the Joe Fix-It, and I feel like a lot of people are going to want that pretty quickly. So I just would really love to see a way to advance that battle pass outside of just the daily and weekly quests that they have. I don't really feel like that's a great way to do it personally. I'm impatient. A lot of us are impatient. We just want our stuff now, and I'll keep playing the game no matter what. So don't worry about me. I just felt like it was an artificial way of kind of prolonging gameplay. So as far as the characters are concerned, there's 4 main characters you get to play in the beta: Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, Black Widow, Hulk, and Iron Man. And I told you that 3 of the characters I loved. 1 of the character I was iffy on. I'm gonna start with the iffy character, and I'm shocked because I thought Iron Man was going to be my number 2 character that I played in this game. I thought it was gonna be Thor, then Iron Man, and honestly, after the beta, he dropped. There's a learning curve with Iron Man, and there's a lot of people that I played with that said, no man, once you figure out how to do it, once you get his lasers unlocked, once you go down that skill tree, it's a lot better and he's a lot more fun. I didn't get there. I didn't have enough time to really invest into that. I wanted to kind of get as much of a taste of everybody as I could. And I'm going to be honest with you, I just so much rather enjoyed playing as Kamala Khan and Hulk, and then on the last day Black Widow, that I just didn't feel the need to go back to Iron Man very much. Kamala Khan is awesome. Like I think she's a lot of fun to play. Might be my favorite of the beta, and she was my favorite until the last day when I finally got my chance to start playing Black Widow, and oh my god, she was probably my number 6 on my list, and she shot all the way to the top. I love playing as Black Widow. She's awesome. Like, I really think she's great. Hulk is awesome, and I think a lot of people are talking about how they wish there was an open world Hulk game, kind of like the old one, where you can just run around smashing things. And I'm right there with you for that. Like, I thought that was awesome. He did feel a little underpowered because, you know, Hulk is supposed to be strongest there is. He's supposed to be best there is. He's supposed to be like the Superman of the Marvel Universe in a lot of ways, just indestructible. And he felt mortal. And I think everybody plays video games for different reasons. There are a lot of people that want to have that Souls-like experience in everything they do. I don't. I have no shame in admitting that I usually play every game on easy because I want to feel like a freaking Hulk, you know? I want bullets to bounce off of me, and I just want to smash everything. And I still felt like I could do that. I mostly played on normal, and I'm okay with that. But I didn't feel Hulk was strong enough, as crazy as that sounds. And I definitely think his jumping ability could go higher. You know, he could jump further and higher. You know, I just don't feel like... I understand that you have to balance it. You can't have one character, you know, necessarily be substantially better than everybody else. I totally understand balancing issues, but I don't know. There's something about Hulk. I loved playing as him, but there's something I feel like they could have done a little bit more for him. But hey, that's why we have betas. This is the type of feedback I hope they're collecting. Overall, it's not a perfect game. There's definitely room to grow. Like any other video game you're going to play, I can see people playing it and not liking it. It's really weird to say that, considering how much I liked it and loved it, but I can see people not being as into it as I am. But I personally love it. It scratches that Marvel Heroes itch that a lot of us have been feeling. We missed that game. It is nowhere near the same type of gameplay, but I feel like a superhero, and that's what I enjoy. You know, it's, you know, is it better than, you know, any of the Arkham games? I don't know. This was a small slice. I think it's got its place in the world, and I think ultimately we're going to talk about it the same way once we experience the full product. But I love the beta. I've got the Earth's Mightiest Edition on pre-order, and it's coming soon, September 1st for me. So if you haven't played the beta yet, I told you when the beta weekends are from here. I definitely advise you get your hands on it before you make an opinion. If you did play this weekend, what did you think? I'd love to know. I hope everybody enjoyed the video, and I can't wait to play some more Marvel's Avengers. We'll see you. We'll see you.